I hope you guys are ready for another edition of the Bathroom Chronicles, because boy, do I have a story for you. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Kira if you are new, and today I am back to kind of share with you an update and then a little bit of a story time inside of my bathroom, because this is literally the only place that I get a little bit of quiet and sanity during the summertime. So if you guys have been following me, you know it's in the bathroom or in my car where I get like a little bit of mom time. So I have a story to share with you guys. Excuse my voice, I am hoarse. I've been hoarse now since I believe it started like 4th of July-ish, and I've still had a little bit of this like hoarse throat. I think a lot of it has to do with the acid reflux that I always have. I think once I get to a gastro, I'm gonna end up being diagnosed with GERD. That's just my own personal opinion, but I know that a lot of times when you have like acid reflux, it really could affect your larynx and your voice box. I noticed that for the last like year and a half, I constantly have to do a lot of swallowing or like almost inside hiccups while I'm speaking, and I never had that before, and it's only been the last couple of years or so. So I think a lot of it has to do with that acid reflux, but needless to say, if you hear my voice, I am hoarse again. But all right, so here's my story time. So the really cool thing was the kids got invited to an awesome opportunity for this past week. Our local school, like the school that our kids go to, our elementary school, they host a summer camp there over the summer, and it's really expensive to get in. It's like $240 for the week per kid. I know that might not be bad for some, especially with the cost of like daycare and stuff, and for working moms and dads. I know how important it is to have like affordable daycare or camps to send your kids to over the summer, but our school does this camp invention where it's almost like they do those KiwiCo kind of boxes and all sorts of things like that geared towards inventing and all that kind of stuff, like for the whole day. Now, like I said, for some that might not be expensive, or it might be expensive, but I think it's a pretty good deal because they go from 9 in the morning until 3:30 in the afternoon for the Monday through Friday. So for parents, again, that work, I feel like that is a great opportunity. But we also live in a very military-based area. San Antonio is very heavy with a lot of military bases, and we live very close to an Air Force base, and so they do a lot of sponsoring to the schools where they'll do paid scholarships for children to do things like camp and stuff like that. I never apply to those things because I don't want to take away from somebody who really needs to have their kids inside of a camp. Even though it'll be a great opportunity for my kids to do that, I stay home. So for parents that work outside of the home and really need that, I never apply to those things. It's really hard to get in. You have to, you know, hope that you're one of the people chosen for the scholarship to be paid for to do that, but it's open for anybody in the school to apply, and then it's whether or not you're chosen, you know, to have your kid have that scholarship. So like I said, I never apply. I don't even bother. My kids just stay home with me over the summer. But Mason's teacher from last year, she reached out to me like on the little app that we used to communicate with during the school year, and she said, for this particular week, starting on the Monday that just passed, the 11th, that a bunch of children could not make it that had scholarships. And once they're already paid for, those can't get rolled over to a wish list kid. If it gets rolled over to a kid on the wait list, those parents have to pay. So she reached out and said, hey, I have all these open slots this week that were scholarshiped that I need to fill now. And she said, would you love to send Mason and Maya to camp for the week? And I literally started to cry, and I wrote back to her and said, hey, you have no idea how amazing that is, because that means I can work all week. Like, I'll call my job and tell them I'm available, and I can make up, you know, a chunk of money that we just lost. We just got scammed out of, you know? So I figured that'd be a great opportunity for me. I said, you have no idea how amazing that is. I feel really blessed. And she said, okay, well, you need to send them with a lunch, with a snack, and then they can, I just need their t-shirt size because it's t-shirt day on the last day, and you can bring them starting tomorrow. So I was really, really excited. I knew the kids would be excited because they would get to see friends. She said a lot of their friends from both of their classes that they were in last year were inside of this camp. So we were super, super excited. And I couldn't wait to tell the kids, and they were really excited. And I was relieved that I could do packing for my moms without the kids, and that I could work all week and make up some money while the kids are at camp. So I was like, this is fantastic. This is amazing. Like, how could I have beat this? And I figured I'll film a video of what I send my kids to summer camp with, you know, like for lunch. I thought that would be cool because I hadn't packed for them since, you know, they went to school. So super excited, all the things, right? So the kids go to camp on Tuesday. They have a wonderful time. They love it. Great time. They come home. Kids go to camp on Wednesday. They have a great day when they come home, and then maybe an hour or so after the kids got out of camp that day, so about 4:30, 5 o'clock on Wednesday, the teacher writes me and tells me that 4 kids, 4 kids in summer camp were just positive for COVID. And that these were kids that Mason and Maya, since they were in the same group, were in direct contact with for both Tuesday and Wednesday. Now, apparently this kid was also there on Monday, so at least my kids missed 1 day of exposure with them. But now you have 4 positive kids that were in direct contact with Mason and Maya. And so right away I spoke to Daryl, and I panicked because we're leaving in just a couple of days to go and visit my parents. And I don't want to bring anything to them. And we've been lucky enough to keep COVID out of this house for this long. So I was like, all right, no more camp for you guys, because they're not wearing masks there and stuff. My kids wore their paper masks the first day, but when we picked them up, they weren't wearing them. So I'm sure during the day they took them off, because when I brought them, not one kid was wearing a mask. When I dropped them off Tuesday, and when I picked them up both Tuesday and Wednesday, not one kid was wearing a mask. And so, and I understand it's not obligated anymore, you don't have to, but COVID's starting to go around again, and so here we are. And here these kids are, and now you have 4 children with positive for it. And so that made me really, really nervous. So I let the teacher know the kids weren't going back. They're not going back for the rest of the week, because I just don't want them to have a chance of ending up being positive, because that's the last thing that we need before leaving to go to my mom's. And then now that I'm sitting and I'm thinking about it, I'm really nervous, because kids are resilient, and I know my children, and if my kids have sniffles or something, they won't even say anything to me. If it were Jacob, the whole world would know. But if Mason and Maya, they're not like that. If they get a sniffle or something, they wouldn't even say anything to me. If it's not something I notice, there's a chance that they could have been sick, or they could be sick, or I mean, they could be asymptomatic too, but it'd be really easy for me to miss symptoms with them. And I don't want a chance bringing anything to my mom's. So I had to break to my mother the change of plans, because at first I just decided to move my flight. I just wanted to be able to give a good 7 days beyond exposure to make sure that we do not have it. I've already tested my children and they are negative, and we got like the post office was giving out free COVID tests where you could like fill out an application, and I did it and Paul did it, and we both got a bunch, which ended up being great because we ended up with 8 kits, and each kit has 2 in it, so 16, but they expire in August. I'm not sure how important the expiration date is, but I mean, if they put it on there, maybe it has something to do with, you know, somehow it's important. So we're just using all those. I had other ones in my house anyways, but those are good until next year, so I'm not even going to waste my time. But these ones, they expire next month, so I'm literally making every single one of us test every morning since we found out, just to make sure that we're staying negative. But to be safe, I went online to try and move our tickets, and because I booked like the JetBlue basic flight, which was the cheapest one, which I booked the cheapest flight because it's a whole bunch of us flying, so it just made sense. We booked the cheapest flight, and then that allows cancellation or move fees if you move your flight, which stinks. If you buy like the regular Blue or the Blue Plus, they don't charge you anything if you have to change your flight or cancel. You just get credit, or you just pay the difference of the seat and move. But if you get the basic, which is what I purchased, then you have to pay $100 a ticket to move your flight. And Daryl's not coming in with us, but it's still me, Jake, Mason, and Maya going in. So it was $400, plus the difference of the ticket was $75 each. So it would have cost me $700 to move my tickets from Monday to Thursday. After everything we just went through, I can't do that. But I don't want to put my parents at risk if, God forbid, we are carrying anything. Now, you don't even have to wear masks on an airplane anymore, but we are going to, just to make sure that we, again, are safe. And I will continue to test us up until that we leave. But I think for my parents' sake, I'm not going to stay there right away. I was going to stay in a hotel. It would have been cheaper than $700. But I think that when my cousin reached out to me and said, hey, why don't you guys stay here? We just had COVID. So the odds of us getting it, if you have it, are like slim to none. And so why don't you come and stay with us? And I think that that's the safest bet. I think I'm gonna go in and just stay at my cousin's for a couple of more days with my little kids and just monitor everybody and make sure that we don't have it. And once I know everyone is in the all clear, then we'll go stay at my parents'. But the last thing that I want to do is bring that to my parents. If you guys were with me last summer, you know. If not, I'll link the video. But my mom got really sick, and we had a really hard time on our trip. She stayed sick for the entire duration of the weeks that we were there, and my kids barely got to see her. She was devastated because she barely got to see them. She left in an ambulance, for God's sakes. Like, it was a very stressful trip the last time, and so we were kind of hoping for like a very lackadaisical, comfortable, enjoyable, fun vacation this time. We felt like we owed it to ourselves. And with my luck lately, I'm gonna bring COVID to my parents, and I just don't want to do that. So it's gonna be a little weird. I usually vlog my whole process of flying in, but my family's not picking us up anymore, and we're not going straight to my mom's or anything like that. So I'll still be vlogging, but it's gonna look a little weird because our plans have changed a little bit. You guys aren't gonna get a grocery haul on Tuesday. You'll have to wait till I get to my mom's. If we're all clear, then we're gonna go to my mom's like Thursday-ish. And so you're not gonna get a grocery haul until then. I'm sorry, I apologize, but I just want to keep my parents safe. So it's gonna be a little weird. I'm gonna play some videos. They might be out of order or not on days I normally, you know, put those things out, but it's just gonna be what I need to do to kind of get through the next couple of days until we get back to some kind of normal. Because you guys, when it rains, it pours, right? I don't even know. Like, could you imagine if we get COVID right now? Like, could you imagine? That would be the icing on the cake of the everything else that we've gone through, and I'm not here for it. So I think this is the smartest thing that we're gonna do for our family. I think this is smart and safe. We're not gonna waste $700 moving our flight, but we're not gonna go bombarding my parents' house when we have the possibility of still having something. So I think we're just gonna play it safe. We're gonna stay masked, and we're gonna, you know, go stay at some family and bunker down for a little while and just make sure that we're good. And then once we're good, then we'll head on to my mom's and we'll continue our summer vacation as planned. But I wanted to update you guys because it'll be a little bit weird. I'm gonna try and start sharing again on Instagram. I've been really lacking in the Instagram department a little bit, but after like the shooting here in Texas and then the Roe vs. Wade overturn and then all of that, I like had a little bit of a social media meltdown because every time I go on, it's just, it really is just so sad how quickly like family members who, you know, never had ill words are like at each other's throats. It's everything, it seems so negative. There's just such a negative aura, and I'm trying to be like happy and positive, and sometimes that's a bad headspace for me. So I feel bad because I always encourage you guys to come follow me and then I don't post anything for you to see. So I am going to post throughout this trip, so make sure you are following me because I will start kind of getting back into things, but hopefully everything will be back to normal by the end of the week. But all right, you guys, that was my little update. You have like a fridge and empty, oh my goodness, wait till you see how empty everything is in my house. So you have an empty fridge, freezer, pantry tour, like to show you where everything is at. This way you see why I'm considering doing a week of grocery hauls when I come back for back to school, because everything's depleted. So you're gonna see that. You have a what's for dinner coming. You have a lunch, because I finished lunches here at home. Half of it is what I send my kids to summer camp for lunch with, and then the other half of it is quarantine lunches. So one way or another, you're still getting a lunch video, and you will get a grocery haul and a travel vlog, and I have some other things up my sleeve as well. So stay tuned. We still have tons of footage coming, but I just wanted to give you guys a heads up that there is definitely going to be a change in flow over the next week. But thank you guys so much for always tuning back in and all of your well wishes for whatever video that I put out. I appreciate you guys so, so much. Stay tuned, like I said, for everything. We have some fun stuff coming up. I love you guys so, so much. Give this video a huge thumbs up. Subscribe if you are new, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, you guys.